What's up everyone, this is Elijah, and let me welcome you to a video made by the App Lifestyle, the place where the world is literally in the palm of your hands. And in this video, we'll be covering my favorite top 10 apps you can use to make money with. See, the world is full of apps nowadays that you can make money with, and how do you know which ones to pick? Well, ultimately, you're gonna have to figure it out for yourself, but maybe seeing my list will help determine what apps are probably good for you to make money with. And you may actually have a top 10 list that's completely different from mine. Let's hear it in the comments below. What are your top 10? And it might be my list, just in a different order. So let's go ahead and get into what is my top 10 apps, starting with number 10. So coming in at the 10th spot is Postmates. Now it does kind of pain me to put this in the 10th spot because I actually like Postmates. I mean, I like the user interface. It's fairly simple. To this day, I love the color green. And green is the color of money, so who doesn't like green? But the demand has really fallen off throughout the years. So the concept of Postmates, as far as using it for deliveries, whether it be like store deliveries, like some in Home Depot or Walmart or whatever, or if you're going to be using it for food, the retail component has kind of fallen off over recent years. It's more so just used for food. And I guess the competitors have kind of drowned out the competition, because when you get on the app, it's just not as busy as it was before. As it stands, it's a great side app to be doing while you're doing something else. So for those of y'all that have been on the channel for a while, y'all know Postmates is my backup app. But like my primary app as far as food delivery would be Ubereats. So it's kind of like the side app, and it's a shame because it would be higher on the list if there's just more demand, but it is what it is. It's still a good app though, and it's great to kind of supplement what you're doing in the meantime. Coming in at the 9th spot is the Robinhood app. Now, Robinhood is an app that you can use to invest in the stock market. And it was kind of revolutionary for its time. There wasn't really like a lot of apps to invest with on your phone, and in a way that made things simple and in commission-free trades. So it used to be, on a lot of cases, if you wanted to invest in the stock markets, each time you would buy a stock, you get charged a fee. $4, $7, like each brokerage had their own like amount of fees that you would get charged. But Robinhood came on the scene and said, hey, your trades will be completely free. So you can trade as many as you want or sell as many things as you want without getting charged a fee. And that was revolutionary for its time. I give props to the pioneers, and they brought that concept to fruition so that now these older brokerages are kind of being forced to implement free trades, which means you can buy more shares in your desired company because you're not having to pay commissions or in trades. Now that does have a negative side. The fees would kind of make you consider your investments before you actually do it. Since there aren't any fees, you do kind of have the habit of just like, bam, getting some for the sake of getting some. You still want to make sure you're doing your normal analysis on if you want to buy a stock or not, okay? What I like most about Robinhood is its simple interface. If you're just getting started in investing, the interface is so simple. It doesn't throw like a bunch of information at you. It kind of just gives you like the basics as far as news, the dividend yield, the PE ratio, just things that beginner investors can use and make a decision. But that's exactly why it's kind of lower on the list than some of these other apps I'll get to. But it is fairly simple. So information you'll probably need to decide if you want to invest, you're probably going to have to go outside the platform and research that. That can be a turnoff, for some. But with them expanding into cryptocurrency in some cases, as well as expanding into options, which they've had for a while, but it really looks like they're expanding on the trading aspect, it still makes this list. Plus, I do like the fact that if someone signs up using your referral link, both you and the person that you referred will get a free stock in a random company. And that's still ineffective to this day. So if you're thinking about investing and you would like to use Robinhood, click on the link in the description below and both of us can get a free stock. At the 8th spot, we have the Stride Tax app. Now, many of y'all know that the roots of this channel is geared in Uber and Ubereats. And if you're not keeping track of your mileage or just your expenses in general, you're leaving money on the table, because what you're not deducting, you're just going to be giving away to the IRS. So technically, if you're using this to keep keep track of your business expenses, and then you give that to your tax professional, or you use it yourself, write it off, guess what? You're actually making income because that's less money you have to give to the IRS. So what I like about Stride is it's one of the few free services that you can use to track all your expenses. That in itself gives it a spot on this list, but what makes it a little higher, I really like how the interface is still fairly, it's like a hybrid between simple, but you can get a little more complicated if you want. So it categorizes things in terms of your write-offs. So if you buy snacks, water, that kind of stuff for your rideshare rides, which I never did, but if you did, put that in this space. Or if you buy things that help you make you money in some way, like if you're using a phone mount to keep your phone up while you're driving for, let's say, Ubereats or DoorDash or something, well, guess what? That's tax deductible, and you can put it inside the app for your records. Then when the end of the year comes, you're fully equipped to go ahead and put all this information in TurboTax in an organized fashion, or you can just give it to your tax advisor. And a bonus thing is they added this like about a year ago, but you can take a picture of whatever proof of purchase. So that phone mount we talked about, take a picture of the receipt, then upload it to Stride, and all that is just organized so that all you gotta do is print some stuff out and you're good to go when tax time comes. So you gotta love it. Coming at number 7 is the Sweatcoin app. I really love the concept of this because there's a conception, it's actually not even a conception, it's true. So technology is literally so humans can be lazy, okay? And in doing so, too much of it tends to not be too good for our health. But then this app comes along kind of reversing that, so you can use technology to inspire you to do more working out via walking, running, whatever it is, and then you can redeem those sweat coins for tangible things. Like, it's not available anymore, but it used to be you could get a phone with so many sweat coins or $1,000. Nowadays, it looks like they're kind of branching back on that kind of stuff and going more into like subscription models, things like that. But once things get going, I could easily see like maybe smaller items, like maybe a flat screen TV, which may be around like $500, or maybe a older phone, just smaller things that aren't so big, but they're very achievable. So I really love the concept of this app, but let's back it up to explain what Sweatcoin is. So it's an app that once you turn it on, it's gonna track how many steps you're doing, and for every step that you take, you get a little piece of a sweat coin, and these eventually add up so that you can redeem them for something. So case in point, the first time I got involved with Audible, I actually gained enough sweat coins to buy a 2-month trial on Audible, and I got 2 free ebooks. That's pretty sweet. And those 2 ebooks were actually financial ebooks. I say ebook, I mean audiobook, sorry about that. But these 2 audiobooks were financial, and I actually used them to make more money to this day. So I got a decent return on that. And I would turn the Sweatcoin app on while I was doing my jogging. So that's one of the reasons I got it so fast. So if you're already do some kind of working out or jogging that's kind of cardio based, just get you one of those things you can strap on your arm and take your phone with you. Boom. There's just rewards kind of waiting for you. It would be higher on the list, but they don't have things I mentioned. Like, I would love to see like a flat screen TV or something like that on there, even if it's small. I think that's really incentivizing people to get out here and exercise more with technology. And I love that. But as it stands right now, they don't have overwhelming things. It's like, oh man, I'm so motivated to, I was thinking about skipping this jogging, this working out, but I want that flat screen TV or something. You know, that element isn't there yet, but maybe it'll get there with time. Coming in at number 6 is the GetUpside app. Some of y'all may be familiar with this app, but this app is something you can use to get gas cash back. And you can do so in a way that's not actually interfering with whatever way you may be getting cash back currently. So let's say you use a debit card, which when you spend money on it, you get cash back. Well, guess what? What you're doing with this app is you're either uploading the gas receipt, or in some cases, you can go in the gas station, show them that you have the GetUpside app. I think they scan something, and then boom, you get the points, or you get the credit rather. You can do that, and it's not interfering with anything you're already doing. So it's kind of like you're getting double if you utilize that. They pay out via PayPal or gift card. It just depends on how you want it. And they also will mail you a check if you want to set up that way. But what I really love about them and why it's so high on this list is their referral program. So once you get the Get Upside, you're very encouraged to share the wealth. So you send it, let's say, to a friend and they sign up and get Upside. Well, guess what? You're going to get 15 cents extra on top of whatever discount that you were getting in the first place. And when I say discount, I look at it ultimately as a discount because they're going to be paying you back a portion of the money you would be spending on gas. So I consider that a discount, but technically it can be another stream of income because you got to spend money on gas anyway. You might as well go to a gas station that they're partnered with and get a little of that back. And the amount you get back increases the more you refer people. Now, what you can take that a step further because any gas that they put in their tank, you get 1 cent for every gallon that they're putting in. I mean, it's a win-win-win for everyone. I'm sure it's a win for Get Upside. Obviously, it's a win for whoever's referring, and it's a win for the referrer too. I mean, do I need to say anything else? Coming in at number 5 is the Webull app. Now, this app is similar to Robinhood in the sense of you can use it to invest in the stock market, but it's on a whole nother level. Not only can you buy individual stocks, but you can invest in certain ETFs, certain index funds. And the level of sophistication on this app, it's like a investment website inside an app. It gives you so much information, so much news, so much information on the company, everything you need to know about a company that will influence your decision if you want to buy or not can literally be accessed through your phone. That alone would already put it on this list, but why it's higher than Robinhood is their referral program is better. So they give you 2 free stocks for referring a friend, and your friend also gets 2 free stocks too. But they run promos to where sometimes they up it to 3 stocks for the person who is referring, and sometimes they quite literally, you can see on the screen, they quite literally will give you money just for moving money around. So you could put, let's say, $500 into your account when they're running the promotion and just keep it in there for a month, then pull it out and put it back in your bank account. And then they'll give you like 2 or 3 stocks. They run these promotions every now and then, and I'm literally not making that up. So you can get some free stocks simply by moving your money around. And the amount that these stocks are valued is a lot different from Robinhood. One is valued from, I think it's like $3 to like $400, but they change this kind of regularly. But there's always going to be one stock that's valued between like $12 and $1,200. So you can get some big pieces of big stock, or you can get the stock ranges is bigger. I'll put it that way. I mean, the biggest stock I've gotten to this day was Procter & Gamble, and that was around $120 at the time. I just love the wide range of stocks that you could potentially get, as well as the various promotions they run simply for just moving your money around or just running your mouth about something that you like in the first place. So if you've been listening to this video so far, you know that if you're not signed up for Webull, you can sign up using the link in the description below, and we'll both get 2 free stocks, maybe even 3 if they're running a promotion for the person who is getting referred to. That doesn't happen as often, but it does happen sometimes. But even with the referral program, probably the biggest reason is you can use it to invest in the stock market, and it gives you so much information on what you need. Now, I should also note that you can also set up retirement accounts like a Roth IRA or SEP IRA with Webull. I do recommend another investment app on this list, but I'll mention that they offer it here. Coming in at number 4 is M1 Finance. So M1 Finance is yet another investment app, but it's very different from Webull and Robinhood. For one thing, their referral program is not that good. Basically, if you refer someone, you get like $5, $10, sometimes it goes up to $20, but it's nothing compared to actually getting a free stock. But that's not, their referral program isn't where their strength lies. Where their strength lies for me is how you can set up these investment portfolios full of index funds or ETFs or individual stocks and set up investing to be as autonomous as possible. So work with me here. You can have a portfolio of, let's say, the S&P 500 and the individual stock Google and the individual stock Apple. and you can put them all in a portfolio and decide what percentage of your any money that's invested will be diverted to the index fund or the individual stocks. So you could have it so that 50% goes in the S&P 500, 25% in Apple, 25% in Google. You can set that up on M1 Finance. And the beautiful thing is you can set up reoccurring deposits so that anytime your money reaches over, I believe it's like $25 if I remember right, M1 Finance is going to automatically buy partial shares, yes I said partial shares, of these companies with your money. So you can just set it up so that, all right, I'm just going to invest like $30 a week every Wednesday, set it up, and then boom, money just starts accumulating. And the S&P 500, I'm just going off of averages and numbers, but it returns about 8% per year if you have dividends reinvested. That can just it's literally an invitation for compound interest to just change your life, keep investing, keep growing. And the beautiful thing about this is when a company or index fund or ETF pays a dividend, that dividend can be split up among your whole portfolio. So let's say if you get a dividend of $50, it's not like most DRIP programs, it stands for Dividend Reinvestment Program, where that money is reinvested into that individual stock. It's reinvested into the whole portfolio. I mean, that's just beautiful. It's so hands off. It's like a gold mine for long-term investors, which that's your boy. So that makes the number 4th list for a reason. I highly recommend it. And this is probably the brokerage account I would most recommend for investments in retirement. So Roth IRA, SEP IRA, etc. Number 3 is a company called Wrapify. Now, this company will actually wrap your vehicle for free in whatever company that they're partnered with, and then you can get paid just for driving around. If you want to know more about this concept, I made a Wrapify tutorial that you can check out. Not explain more about Wrapify in more detail, but just the overview is you pick a campaign, and that campaign can be a partial wrap or a full wrap. The more wrapped your car is, the more money that you make. And you'll know how much money you'll be getting paid per day based on the campaign. It lets you know that right up front. Now, it does have a daily cap or weekly cap, but you're also paid more for driving in certain areas of your market. So let's say if you're driving in an area it has a 1.5 multiplier, you're going to make more money driving in that area as opposed to another area that isn't in the red zone. This is very complementary to any kind of work that you're already having to drive anyway. So let's say if you're doing Ubereats or DoorDash or even Rideshare to some degree, you're driving anyway, you might as well make a little cash on top of that. And the best thing about this is, if that is the case, this income is fairly passive for you. Now, they do require that you take pictures of your car every 2 weeks just to verify that the wrap is still in good condition, that it's still on there. You wouldn't want to take it off and then still be getting credit for driving, right? So there's that process. And when it comes time to uninstall, you just take it to one of their facilities. They take the wrap off, and then boom. And for those of y'all that are wondering, well, is that going to damage my paint? I've had 2 campaigns, and I never really had any issues with paint. Wrap comes off pretty clean. And these guys are professionals, so I will say if you have dings on the outside of your car, maybe that's more concerning, but I didn't have any of those. So as far as it stands, I consider it just free money if you're already out and about driving to make money. Want to know more about it? Check out that tutorial. Coming in at number 2 is Ubereats. And some of y'all are probably shocked that it's not number 1. Like, Elijah, most of your content is Ubereats. Wouldn't that be number 1? Well, I'm going to explain why that is when we get to what number 1 actually is. And for those of y'all that are saying, well, why not DoorDash or Grubhub or whatever? This is my personal list, okay? Now, I like the concept of delivering food and just you being alone in the car so you can just jam your music or listen to audiobooks or YouTube videos to just really gain more knowledge on certain things. And the conduit for that can actually be any of the things you're thinking. So it could be Ubereats or Postmates or DoorDash or Grubhub. I just have the most experience with Ubereats, so that's why it's my favorite. Plus, I do have certain things I like about the app of Ubereats. I like it's pretty simple. I do like that, like Ubereats seems like the most leveled as far as, what's the right word for this? Most of these apps are going to cater towards the customer all the time. It's like just forget about you. I feel like Ubereats is probably the most leveled in the sense of they value the customer, but they also value you. It's kind of more balanced versus other apps. Like, look, it's all about the customer. Forget about you. You're barely in the equation. I won't give any specific examples of this, but those of y'all that multi-app, y'all kind of know what I'm talking about. So Ubereats will always hold like a special place in my heart because it was the first delivery app that I really mastered and just really got to work on it. So what is your number one if it wasn't Ubereats? Well, the only thing that is left is actually Uber itself. A lot of y'all are probably going to think that's controversial, but most people think that just because I branched off and started doing more Ubereats content rather than Rideshare, that I like food delivery better. I actually don't. I branched off in that direction because Rideshare was saturated and I saw no one was really servicing y'all in Ubereats. So I decided to share everything I knew because I already had mastered Ubereats. But I actually like Rideshare or Uber better. And I know some of y'all are thinking like, well, what about Lyft? You know, same rules apply. I just started out with Uber, so that's why it's my favorite. But I really love the fact, I love the concept of taking someone from point A to point B, having a conversation, just socializing, interacting. I mean, my personal favorite is when I be driving around the campus of SMU and just picking up the college students, just chopping it up with them about Netflix, about what kind their dating life, just everything. But on the flip side, if I didn't have those type of conversations with people, I really love the fact that you don't know who's in the back of your seat. I mean, I've had lawyers, accountants. I've actually had a police officer in my back seat before, and that was an interesting conversation. She said that it takes forever for her to get an Uber ping because people keep avoiding the police station. But we'll save that for another video. I've had so many encounters, and you don't know who's in the back of your seat. I mean, some people have turned into clients, some people have turned into friends, and they may have something that you really need in your life right now, and Uber is the conduit to put y'all together. Or you may have something that they really need. So to this day, I don't think anything is ever going to take the number one spot from Uber in the sense of being a rideshare driver. And yes, the rates have decreased over the years. At this point, I would say they need to up them to at least $1 per mile for me to really get heavy into it again. But as it stands, I just love the concept of rideshare, and it takes the number one spot for just a variety of reasons. So that concludes the top 10 apps that I recommend for making money, or my personal favorite. What's your app list? I'd love to hear it in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, helps out a lot, and subscribe if you're new, if you want to learn about more information on apps that make you money in return. This is Elijah with App Lifestyle. I will catch you in the next video. And if you're interested in learning how to manage money and make more money, you can also check out my second channel called Financial Anatomy. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.